DinoPod.
Hello and welcome to DinoPod. I'm Tim.
I'm Rita.
And I'm Mitchell.
And today we are going to be talking about McDonald's.
Well, fast food in general.
Well, fast food in general, but I'll say most of my stories relate to McDonald's because there's a lot of things happen behind the scenes that people aren't aware of. Right.
You make
You
that
should also disclose that you have worked at McDonald's.
I have worked at McDonald's as well, so there's a few
You're
things.
saying this is very ominously, but I mean, if you're going into McDonald's, you kind of know what you're going to expect, surely.
Excuse me?
You know, literally the world's shittiest food place. It's great.
There's way worse.
There is, but most other places don't have like 10,000 fucking places around the world. That's also shit.
How dare you?
Yeah, true. Unless you go to America, then the actual McDonald's is quite good.
You say that, but wait until later.
I mean, I've been to America, and the portion sizes are on point.
Apparently they have like an extra large in America as well.
Put it this way, do you know our normal like cones for ice cream?
Yeah.
Like the little small ones?
Yeah.
Do you know how you usually just put just the tip at the top of it? No, it's fucking like 3 inches tall. And that's just a normal size.
Who needs that much?
I mean, when you're at, you know, if you're in America, you have to expect it. Anyway, continue.
Sorry, Tim, go on.
Well, say, you know, you mentioned ice cream, so because you know the McFlurry machines. Do you know when the employees basically they're not usually that clean, so they are dirty. So when you
explain, so when you talk about the McFlurry machine, do you mean
dirty inside or like dirty?
Okay, so the McFlurry machine is the same as the milkshake machine. They all come from the same tap. They all come from the same thing. You just press buttons, and one button gets you ice cream, one button gets you the milkshakes.
Yeah, that makes sense because you know you got McFlurries, right? And they're ice cream, so why wouldn't they? That makes sense.
But I say it's when it comes to the machine being broken, or as you like, that's when we clean it because in the trays and the taps, it's full of mold. It's full of just clogged up food, clogged up everything.
But so okay, let's
so you don't clean them?
No, when we basically some restaurants don't clean the taps. Is what I'm trying to say. Some restaurants will only press a button to put the machine on clean mode, whereas some don't actually take it apart and clean the taps. I've seen this happen. I've seen what it looks like.
Okay. Let's break it down. So you're saying that the biggest fast food place in the world.
Yep.
They don't have policy to say.
Okay.
Hold on. They don't have policy to say that, you know, this is how it has to be cleaned this many times a day, whatever.
I'm sure they do.
Or are you saying that it's purely down to let's be funny. It's not being funny. Minimum wage people not giving a shit.
There is a policy to clean it, but employees clean it.
Yeah, nobody sees you.
Nobody sees.
I know you know easy doing that, but you know.
So
what's this called, by the way?
He's basically just being like ironic.
No, it's like in Portuguese it's
It's inverted commas.
No, Tim. The way you do it is basically saying, "Hey, I'm just being annoying because they are amazing." No, don't worry. But basically, you're saying that when you're at a fast food restaurant, the people there deliberately, like, they do their job by cleaning it, by letting the machine clean itself. Is that what you're trying to say?
Yeah.
But they don't clean
the
stuff that the machine does not.
Right, so let's take a step back. So that McFlurry machine, we're just talking about McDonald's for the moment.
Yeah.
What's the actual procedure? So how many times a day are you supposed to clean it? How many?
You're supposed to give the machine a clean once a day.
Okay, so let's say
At the end.
let's say in the morning or in the evening or whatever.
Even because say times vary because some McDonald's are 24 hours. So
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Explain the procedure. So if you got tasked to clean it by the book, what are you supposed to do?
you just put the machine on clean.
Right.
That's what you're meant to do. But every so often you're meant to take it apart and give the pipes a clean.
Okay, so let's say it's one of those days. So you've been tasked for the day to clean it, and you need to also clean the pipes and make sure it's all clean, basically, and hygienic. So what would you do?
Okay, this is going to shock you. In my time at McDonald's,
Yeah.
I was never shown to do that. I never saw that happen. And I worked there for a year.
I'm never getting milk flurries again.
So
Thanks a lot, Tim.
do you know the procedure? Do you know?
I don't know the procedure.
Okay, so I don't want to speculate, but by the sounds of it, you have to put the machine on clean,
And then basically that just
Then-
cleans inside the machine.
clean the inside, then you take all the
You're
pipes
meant to
out and then
take-
flush it with water or something
Yeah,
like
that's
detergent.
meant to be the other clean you're supposed to do, and I've never seen that happen.
So why is it bad?
Why do you do this?
What?
to me?
Why? So it's twofold question.
Okay.
Why is it bad? Do they not have to be cleaned so often, or do people just get lazy and don't
I
do
think
it?
it's a case of people getting lazy.
So is there any like? We're not medical professionals, but is there any like danger to health?
I don't know. I honestly don't know.
It gets mold.
So is there mold and things like that in there?
Yeah, the pipes are clogged up with mould.
That's
Fucking gross.
Yeah.
that is horrific. Because
Ugh.
there, and that's for both the McFlurry and the
Milkshake.
milkshake
Milkshakes.
machines.
I mean, I know you can't go. You guys can't see the picture. I'm about to show you guys a picture of what is in the pipes.
Let's have a look. That is horrific. So basically, it's a pipe with a load of.
That's not even a pipe. That's like the. That's not a pipe. That's
One of the funnels.
like it's probably from the back of the machine where all the gunk is supposed to go. Like he cleans and he
So
shits everything else, and you're also supposed to clean that. Otherwise, it's just like built up shit. I
What
think
the-
that's it.
That is the bottom of where all the cream is stored.
Okay, so leaks there, and they just leave it there.
Yeah.
That's nice. That's really nice.
even though
That's fucking gross.
even though it's doing its job by collecting the residue,
Yeah, you're supposed to
Yes.
clean it after. You're not just supposed to let it there until it molds.
so why? How comes you didn't clean it out yourself?
Because I wasn't told to clean it. I wasn't told that's part of the process. I wasn't told anything.
So is it a kind?
So you wouldn't know how to take that out and clean it.
No.
So-
My manager would usually say, if anything happens, we call a man in. No one knew what to do.
Okay, so it's not that you didn't want to clean it out. It's that you
Didn't know how to.
It's one of those. If manager doesn't tell me to do thing, I don't do thing.
Yeah.
Because
also,
you
you wouldn't know how to do it.
and even if you could guess your way through and you get it wrong, you're the one getting in trouble, and your manager's like, "I'm fine." So to be fair, this is a problem with most stores, most food places that
Absolutely.
they, as a place gets bigger, they end up having more and more levels of command, and those responsibilities get distributed among people. So that means you might have 5 managers with 5 different roles and responsibilities, and it only takes one person to be lazy for the rest of them to say, fuck it. If they're not doing that job, I'm not doing this one, and then it just comes into like he said, she said type bullshit. So at that place, so they didn't during your training, they didn't actually show you how to do it.
No.
So did that happen with a lot of the machines?
A lot of machines, well, especially the drinks machine, follow the same sort of process.
So McFlurries and ice cream.
That's another separate thing. I say with the drinks, you basically all the fizzy drinks they come in syrups in a massive big box, and you got loads of little pipes. So the one in the town, all the syrups are stored downstairs in the basement.
Yeah.
So you got all the little pipes going up through the floors, up to the second floor, and then into the back of the drinks machine.
Yeah, that's fine because
That's fine.
almost every pub in the UK, I don't know how it is in in America and so on, most of them have a basement where you've got all of
All
your
storage.
kegs in the bottom,
Yeah.
and then they all get funneled up, pressurized. But then the difference is those type of places, to get authorized by people like Guinness and Foster's, they have to follow procedure doing it to get their license. So with McDonald's, was that procedure ever followed?
I mean, I have no idea if that machine was cleaned, because I say the only machines I saw get cleaned was the grills, and even then they were disgusting.
And I presume they only cleaned the grills because it ended up, you can visibly see the mess.
Yeah, but the few occasions that we've had to clean the back of the grills, there's been, I would say, at least 200 dead flies on the back of the grill.
But do you think that's exclusive to kind of like a McDonald's problem, or like if this is kind of what happens when a company gets so large that they can kind of devoid responsibility?
Well, you say that sometimes I don't think there's enough time in the day to clean, especially if a 24 hours one, you've got customers all around the clock, and you always...
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, I've never even thought about that. I mean, we all kind of want 24 hours. You can walk in at McDonald's at 4 o'clock in the morning on a night out or something, or like you're, coming home from somewhere and you just want some food. You don't think about these things.
Yeah.
But yeah, how many times during like the summer have you gone into a McDonald's and the McFlurry machine is broken? Maybe it's for cleaning, maybe it's overheated, maybe it's done something like this, and everyone's annoyed. So I can imagine if you're a 24 hours place.
Yeah, everyone goes on Twitter. I can't believe the machine is broken.
Yeah.
On this McDonald's.
What I mean,
So if you imagine this, if you had a 24-hour McDonald's that you have to like stop for an hour to clean it, that's not going to happen, is it?
No. So you say that the machine gets broken because I say it gets overworked, the ice cream machine, then it just squirt out loads of like a cup of hot cream.
Yeah. So okay. So explain why the machines always like are broken during the summer. Surely they have industrial machines that are supposed to take that load.
Well, you think they are, but I say the summer it's usually hot. Everyone needs queues and queues for ice creams, for milkshakes, and the machine gets overworked and overheats, and it obviously has to cool down. We say it and cool down, and we have to put the machine on the short clean. And I say that is why typically we say it's broken, because imagine every customer asks and you give them that story every time. Oh, the machine got overworked, it's hot, we've got to clean it all out. If we just say it's broken, then it's simple, people just accept it.
Yeah. I mean, if anyone was to walk into McDonald's and we say, oh, by the way, we're like the biggest ice cream manufacturer in the UK, because they probably are. I don't know this for certain, but we haven't.
Are they?
Think about how many stores they've got. Think how like every single one probably has a McFlurry machine. So if you imagine that, they probably are the biggest like distributor. We'll find out, but you would think that if you had to tell every customer, by the way, our machines aren't up to fucking scratch, you're probably going to get a load of people getting like absolutely fuming. But if you say it's broken, then people just walk off, I imagine. I get really I get very frustrated because of it. But so you're saying that it's because they are shit machines, they just can't handle the heat, quite literally.
Yeah.
But
My phone is very slow.
no. So when you say about that and the machines, so if we talk about fast food in general, do you think that happens in other stores, or do you think
I've got absolute certain it will happen in other stores.
Why? Is it just because laziness?
Think of it this way, most McDonald's shift managers are on minimal wage. They don't care about it.
Yeah. So do you think that if, let's say for example, they were to get paid more, or they were to be valued more, it would be more hygienic for people?
Oh god, yeah, absolutely.
So is that why a lot of places don't have like the hygiene rating, McDonald's wise? because they know that if they had like a 1 or a 5, it doesn't matter. People still buying it.
Yeah.
Which is absolutely insane. Like, you're so big of a company, people won't even care about the hygiene of it. They'll still go there.
I wouldn't say people don't care. I think if they knew, 'cause like these places are inspected, right?
By who?
What do you mean by who?
Is it in? We don't know this, but we're just speculating. Do you think it's kind of McDonald's are kind of checking over? I'll ask you. Yeah. So did you have any inspections while she was there?
Only inspections we had were from the general managers from McDonald's. We had no one from outside the company come in.
So no one official.
No.
So do you? I don't want to throw this speculation out or like a theory or a conspiracy, but do you think that because they are so large, the government and that lot just presume that they will be well endowed to look after their own things, and when they bring managers in, it's in their best interest, profit wise, to not remove that machine, to clean it properly, not to replace that McFlurry machine with a better machine, or replace a grill. Like, let's say a grill has been sat there for like 5 years and it's covered in shit. They probably aren't going to be in the best interest to replace it.
Okay, this brings me on to...
Okay, just a second. So I'm on the Food Standards Agency.
Yep.
The UK one. And the McDonald's, the one where you worked, has 5 food hygiene rating. And the date of inspection is from 2 years ago.
That's insane. Like, how is that actually possible?
And the one from Gypsy Lane is from a year ago and also 5. So they were inspected once upon a time.
I mean, yeah.
And they got 5 ratings, so it's very good.
So you mean that they were...
5 out of 5, by the way.
5 out of 5. So on the day of the inspection, they cleaned it up good and proper.
Yeah.
Pretty much. Right, this brings me on nicely to the warm food. Okay, so this is the story from July 2014 at McDonald's. And this happened over in Japan and China. So basically, one of the chicken suppliers over there, Shanghai Husi Food Co.
Wait, what?
Say that again.
The Shanghai Husi Food Co.
Shanghai
Husi Food Co.
Husi Food.
Husi Food. Oh, we're looking at it from an English perspective. That's funny as fuck.
But this turns out they were mixing expired chicken in with the fresh stuff, and then shipping it to the McDonald's, the Starbucks, the Burger King over in Japan and China. And then just a month later, through the in the same one, I think it was in China, a customer found a human tooth in their fries. How can you get a human tooth in your fries? Unless you've got like a teething child working in the company.
I'm not making this shit up. Yesterday at work, I had an older guy, and this isn't a lie. I'm telling you, this is not a lie. We had an older guy. I think he must be in his 50s or 60s. He had a like gold tooth put in there. But if you think of 30 years ago, they ain't replacing it with like some like good sort of like cap or anything. Yeah. It's gold. And he had that at the back of his mouth, and he was just chatting with me, and it literally fell out. I'm not shitting you.
It happens.
Yeah. You've got to remember, there's like 7 or 8 billion people on the planet. It's gonna happen someday. But you should also, if you're serving up fries, I realise that if you've got a tooth in there, that's contamination, and that should be like taken out, cleaned, and put back.
Yeah. I'm guessing nobody saw it. Or they did and ignored it.
Also
or the guy, or the person who received it was a little kid and think he would get some more pocket money from the tooth fairy.
Maybe.
Yeah, buddy, we found out who it is. It's the tooth fairy's back at it again.
Well, explain this one then. So in early 2015, there was reports of customers finding plastic vinyl in their nuggets, and also someone found a condom in their chicken McSandwich.
I mean,
protection.
This led
protection is important.
I mean, okay. The whole condom thing might have been a ploy to make sure that people who go to McDonald's aren't gonna make more humans.
Okay, so this is where it gets interesting. So the chicken supplier for this one, Cargill, investigated. This led to the recall of 1 million chicken nuggets, but the supplier said that the contamination didn't happen in their factory. So where did it come from?
Like you said earlier, minimum wage people not giving a fucking shit.
Maybe
But
the
how can
person was rude and it threw in a condom just cause.
So how can it get in the middle of the chicken McSandwich when they come in frozen to McDonald's?
So it wasn't like on
It
top,
wasn't-
in
it
the
wasn't-
middle.
It was actually inside.
Okay. Let's think of it here. Logistically, how would this work? Like, do you know the size of a condom? How does that fit in a chicken nugget?
No, this is a chicken McSandwich. This is the bigger burger.
Okay, so it's inside the burger. That's okay. Now that makes more sense.
Does it?
But my question is, so was it inside the patty or was it inside, like, you've got your meat, you've got your like cheese and that lot. Do you think it was in there or do you think it's actually in the patty?
Well, I read into this because I was intrigued by this. It was apparently in between the chicken and the coating, the breading on top.
Okay, so
fuck?
when you get those shipped in, you don't put the whatever, what's it called, like the breadcrumbs or whatever.
No,
on top.
they come
They
in
literally
frozen.
come in
Yeah.
like,
And you just put them straight in the fryer.
It had to be a pissed off employee.
it must be.
Yeah.
Or if you backtrack it, the story in my head is you've got some cheating employee who was going to get caught by his like co-worker, and so he's like, "What do we do now? We just put it in patty and ship it out. It'll be fine." I'm
What is
like,
that accent?
I don't know. It's just
That's a pretty racist accent, isn't it?
it's not. It's not. It's only racist if you're offended.
I would say that was racist.
Hey.
I'm not sure to who, because what the fuck was that accent? But
More importantly, if you're cheating if you're having sex at work, the last place that you put your condom is in the fucking patty. You put it in the bin, or you put it on your boss's desk if you hate them.
sure.
Okay, moving on from sex, let's talk about toys. Okay, did
Oh God,
you
Tim, that. If that was a segue, that was either perfect or the worst segue I've ever heard
Very
in my life.
smooth transition.
aim to be perfect?
Since we're talking about sex, let's
It's
talk
very
about
smooth
toys.
transition.
If I told you McDonald's was the largest toy distributor in the UK and the world, actually,
Yeah, I'd say.
I guess, yeah.
And also, they are one of the worst polluters in the fucking world because every single Happy Meal come with a load of plastic, and a lot of it can't be recycled because they put screws and shit in it. So you've now got like,
Who's recycling their toys from McDonald's?
most kids nowadays don't fucking want the toys from McDonald's.
Nobody keeps the toy. Who keeps the
that
toys?
brings me on being
Hey, upstairs I've got a Toy Story Rex from like the late 90s, early 2000s. That's from the McDonald's thing, and I love it because it has like a bubble head.
Fair.
But saying that though, I didn't get it from McDonald's. I had to buy it from Comic Con. So
But I say, when you guys were younger, do you remember the excitement of a Happy Meal and excitement of having a Happy Meal toy?
no,
No,
I
not
fucking
really.
hate fast food with a passion. Getting a McDonald's actually depresses me because it tastes like shit. It makes you feel like shit, and then you're still hungry. I'm like,
I don't remember any
I would
toys.
much rather go spend some extra money on like an independent or to Greg's or to Spoons.
I don't remember any toys that I got from McDonald's.
Oh,
I'm sure I got some, but
do you not remember the
any
little
of them.
like back in the day? You used to have the things that we used to call them like children's iPods, where it's literally just like a plastic thing that'd have one of the like authors or one of the songwriters' pictures on the front, and it had like 3 songs on it. Do you remember it?
No, I don't.
Do you remember that? It's like it looks about that big, and it pressed the button, it would play like a couple of songs. Do you not remember it?
I do remember it, actually, yeah.
And then at the very top, we'd have the album picture or something. Try and Google it. I want to have a look. I think it was like McDonald's. I don't know. Try and find it. McDonald's Happy Meal
Toy with music.
Music, yeah, exactly. Let's have a look.
Was that it?
No, it's not. There we go. That's it.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
I don't remember those.
See,
I'm pretty sure I threw all of them away,
but just think. For me, I hate plastic. Imagine like you've got like circuit boards, you've got plastic, you've got literally everything.
I think they're trying to change that, aren't they?
No.
Didn't they announce they're going to like change their
I watched a documentary from the BBC a couple of weeks ago, and they brought up the plastic toys things, and it's a typical business thing of we'll look into it, or
how long ago was that documentary?
About a year ago.
Okay.
They basically turned around and said, yeah, we know it's a problem, but what we're going to do is make it more recyclable. I'm like, no, that's not the solution. Is you don't make your shit out of plastic, and if you do,
make it recycled.
Make it like biodegradable, like recyclable, and allow people to do it. Otherwise, you end up just with like a landfill full of shit that people didn't want. Like, it makes no sense. It's really annoying. But saying that though, I think if they were to remove the toy, I think a lot of kids wouldn't buy it. But then
it's not the kids that buy it.
It's not the kids that are buying it. It's the parents who are chucking these toys at the kids saying, shut the fuck up, here you go. But nowadays you go, hey child, here's my iPhone, watch some stuff so I can be bad parents, and let me go over here. Now that's a different subject for another day. Jesus.
Okay, going back, I just found more in a story about the mould in the ice cream machines.
No, Tim.
So, a employee actually found this in his restaurant. He photographed it, showed his manager. His manager didn't care, so the guy went to the news, exposed it, and the poor employee got sacked.
Of course he did.
Of course. Tim, there's an official way to do whistleblowing. Is you can go through every company should have a whistleblowing policy. And if they were to expose it, they should have put it on, like, given it to the news and did it indiscriminately, or secretly. He had it fucking coming. Because your company that's big as McDonald's really doesn't want to have that put out. So if they kept them employed, then they would have to make changes. Otherwise, they'll end up looking like they have this problem and they're not dealing with it. It's fucked.
Also, they'll claim that it's just that restaurant that's not following policy.
I fucking hate this. Every single time something happens, yeah, it's fine. It's only a small portion of. It's only a problem for a small portion. Mm-hmm. We'll look into it, and because it's like one out of like a million places, they're like.
And I'm sure some like McDonald's are like pristine.
Yeah, I'm not saying that. I think that.
I'm not saying that, but I'm sure a large majority aren't as clean as they should be.
Because of
especially
why?
those 24 hours.
But why do you think that is? Why do you think if you can do it so right in one place and so wrong in another?
I think it's management.
Yeah.
So is it purely management or is it laziness from staff? Or,
well, if the manager's not doing his job properly, he's being lazy.
But then
and he's being lazy. If you don't see your manager working, you're not going to want to put like an extra.
But then if your job is that includes it in your job to clean machines out,
yeah,
and you don't do it because you don't get told to do it, surely you should still do it.
Yeah, I'm not saying that, but like let's say, okay, Tim wasn't taught how to do it properly. Nobody taught him. So even if he wanted, he couldn't. But let's say he did it, like, he started cleaning it properly, or he asked his manager a couple of times, how do you do it? And the manager's like, just leave it. You stop caring after a few times.
Yeah, you really do.
Like, if the manager doesn't care, why should you when you're being paid way less?
Yeah.
So I do think it starts at the top, I'm not saying it's completely hit like the manager's fault, but it starts at the top.
So if you say it starts at the top, how far do you think this goes up? How far do you think if you're saying that some stores, this is only a theory. If some stores are immaculate, some stores are absolute garbage, and you've got management in both those stores, one say do it really well, and one say do it really badly, surely they must get told from higher ups, you know, every so for example, most stores will have
I'm sure there's like
head
a
honcho,
regional manager.
head honcho. They would have like a regional manager, who then would have like a sub manager, and then you've got your store manager, and you've got assistant manager, blah 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 blah. But surely the big guy at the top, the regional, probably are going to want to do their job because they're getting paid shit tons to do it.
Yeah.
So if they go into a store and it's immaculate, surely they must have enough control to go to another store and say, you know what, your store, there's a store down the road that's a lot better. You've got to like buck your ideas up, or you've worked in food. How does it fucking work?
What?
You've worked in food, like
not in fast food restaurants.
So
Don't ask me how it works. I have no idea.
So did you get a lot of like visitors from like regional managers?
Quite often you'll get like a regional come down for the day, but that was only really to speak to the store manager. We would speak to a couple of crew members, but he wouldn't really, get involved in the process, if you like.
Let's say in your region there's a couple of stores that are really immaculate.
Mm-hmm.
Surely that person must go into your store or another store and realise it's absolutely horrible, that he should be able to say, right, sort your fucking shit out.
Mm-hmm.
Or do you think it all can... He's getting paid enough money to basically do the job he's doing, so if he comes to your store and it's shit, then they just like, yeah, whatever, it's fine, because he's still getting paid.
Yeah.
And then the other stores that are immaculate are just down to people caring more.
Yeah, well, so the first store I worked in George Street in the town, that was closed in late 2012, early 2013 for 8 months because they had a rat infestation.
Okay.
That is.
Well, at least they took care of it.
I was about to say, at least they took care of it. But yeah, let's go on. Let's go keep on with your list, because we'll be here forever to talk about this.
Right, so I'm going to break off a little bit. Okay. I'm going to introduce Rita, talk about Portuguese McDonald's.
I've already been introduced, but okay. So.
Okay, here we go.
So how does Portuguese McDonald's different to the UK McDonald's?
Well, it's way better.
In what way?
Everything.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah. But are you just saying that because you prefer to be in Portugal than England, or
okay.
Give us facts, figures. Tell us how it works.
The burger that I used to go to was double cheeseburger, which can be made a meal in Portugal.
It can in the UK.
It can't.
You can't.
You just have to do like a Big Mac and remove fucking everything.
Then it's not a double cheeseburger.
I know, but it's really weird.
Okay. Anyway.
Actually, no, you can make it. Isn't it a student deal?
No, it's not a student deal. You can only get a big, like a double cheeseburger and fries if you have those vouchers from WH Smith's.
It's because we used to get. I think during like freshers first year, I think they gave us some coupons and stuff. I think one of them was it. Anyway, continue.
Anyway, it tastes like shit. Like honestly, the meat tastes completely different.
Right.
I'm not kidding. I hate it. I hate double cheeseburgers in UK. I cannot eat them.
So if we put you in a Portuguese McDonald's and a UK McDonald's, but put them in both the same language, so you couldn't tell the difference, could you tell the difference?
I would say yes.
Why? So what makes it so much better?
They just taste better. I don't know if it's the meat, because obviously it's not the same, because you guys do British beef. I'm pretty sure our meat in Portugal is not British. So it could be that.
Are you really sure that we get British meat? Or is it some amalgamation of everything?
According to McDonald's, yeah. So let's trust them on that.
Yeah, let's give them
After what we heard, let's trust them. That is British or Irish or Welsh.
I think it's British and Irish, isn't it?
Yeah. Mm. It's from an island.
You're fucking asking me about fast food.
It's from an island. It's Ireland.
So does that mean after Brexit it's going to go up in price because Ireland are just going to swim away in a little dinghy?
Probably, yeah.
Yeah, you're probably right. But yeah, so you say it's because it tastes better.
It tastes better. Honestly, it tastes better.
Is it?
It's the beef.
Is it just the
sure.
Is it just the burgers, or does everything taste better? So do you think better chips, better ice cream, better this, better that?
Well, no, the ice cream tastes the same.
Mm-hmm.
I'm pretty sure the chips taste the same. However, we have sauce for chips.
Right.
Oh, you mentioned this morning.
Sauce for chips, which is the best sauce of all fucking time. That's the name. Just sauce for chips.
What is it?
I have no idea what's in it. I think
okay,
it's
no,
like mayo with the garlic and some herbs. It's so fucking good though. It really is. It's amazing. And you don't have it here.
Oh my
I've
God.
tried looking for it.
Fuck's
You don't
sake.
have it here. It's amazing. And I love it. And you guys suck.
The best. I know it's gonna sound.
It's a hidden.
I know it's
Okay, let me
gonna
try and find the
sound
recipe.
like obvious, but the McDonald's in America actually tastes fucking like even I say it tastes okay. I don't know what they do in America. I don't know what fucking like.
What colour is it?
What?
I'm trying to find this.
Okay. I have the packet here.
Is it ranch?
No. Don't be disgusting.
Tim, you're looking at
Okay,
at
it
the
has-
wrong thing.
It has mustard. It has yogurt
Or
and dust.
dust.
Yeah, it has
What is this, Little Britain?
it has spices and herbs. It does not have mayo, so I was wrong. It's so good though. Another reason why I need to go Portugal. It's the best, and I love it. And it's not ranch.
It's not ranch, Jesus. So, in Portugal, then, how is McDonald's as popular in the UK as it is in the UK, or do you have to go to the main cities to find it?
No, it's popular. It was not like there's not 15 in one city like here, but it's popular.
So
there's not one
if you're
where
on
I
like if
live.
you're on like a highway or a motorway, would you be able to, like in the UK, you go on a motorway and every fucking like 10-15 minutes, hey, there's a McDonald's, here's a KFC, here's a McDonald's.
No, you'd have to go into the city. I
Okay.
think. Well, there might be some, but it's not as
On like the popular roads.
Yeah. Also, we have way less people.
Mm.
But like, okay, so in my hometown, we didn't have one. We had to go to the next town over. But it was like 10 minutes. It's fine. I still went a lot. Way too much than I would need to. Also, we have the Big Tasty all year.
That is a good burger.
We have that. We have the CBO, which I think is chicken, bacon, and onion. I think that's what it means. It's like a chicken burger
None of this is sounding appetizing to me.
with bacon. You don't like McDonald's.
I hate McDonald's.
That's why it doesn't sound
Okay,
appetizing.
can I break away from the food for a moment and talk about the customers?
No, Tim.
No, we're going to talk about the
We're gonna-
Portuguese menu.
We're going to talk about Portuguese menu, and then if you in a little bit, we'll let you
We
slag the
have
customers
the
off a
veggie
bit.
burger, which I didn't know we had. Also, the quarter pounder. It's called McRoyal cheese. And then we have the McRoyal Deluxe, which is the burger.
Okay,
cheese,
so
and then
my-
tomato and lettuce and the special sauce, which I don't know what it is.
My question to you then is this:
Yeah.
if so, for both of you, how much is an average meal for you in the UK?
Say £5 is probably the.
McDonald's,
Yeah, so how much would you normally spend?
5 something. I haven't gone what?
And so if you went to like an independent, like if you went to one of the street food places, or went to like a chicken place, or went to a burger place, would you think like the extra money you normally spend on it would be worth going?
Oh yeah. Whenever I go to London, I go Shake Shack, which is so much better, and it's like triple the price.
But then do you think that you tend to go to McDonald's just purely for the convenience, or do you think
Yeah, like I've cut down on it quite a bit, because again, the UK one sucks.
yes?
But yeah, it's convenient. It's not expensive. Sometimes you just don't want to cook, and you just go to McDonald's.
So it's pure convenience and a mix of kind of like it's convenient, you know where it is, and it tastes okay.
And their fries are pretty good. The burgers not so much. The fries are pretty good. compared to some other places.
But there is so many more there's so many better food places out there. Even around most McDonald's, there's better food places.
Yeah,
so
which is why I go to them most of the time.
So why do you think that McDonald's draws people in so much?
It's familiar.
Is it kind of what we call the Weatherspoons effect?
A little bit, yeah. Because Spoon's not the best food, and we still go there all the time.
Yeah, that's fucking true.
Yeah.
Okay, this is my question. Do you think something like Weatherspoons would be classed as fast food? You can walk in there. You can use an app. You have food delivered to your table relatively quickly, and you can get out, and it's inexpensive.
No, because you can take away.
You can take away.
Can you?
Yep. So would you?
I don't think so, because it's
So-
pub food.
But then if
There's
you could,
better pubs, but
this
it's
is my
pub
question.
food.
There's better pubs. There's better restaurants. There's better independents. But then it's, why do we go there so often?
It's cheaper, because I would try to go to other pub and some our friends were oh no, it's too expensive. Sorry, friends. Just saying.
I mean, that's the thing.
Even Tim, when we went to Pride, me and Toby, we went to Shake Shack, and you didn't go because it was too expensive.
Yeah.
And
Why
you
do you
went
not
to
spend good
McDonald's.
money? Why don't you
You
spend
went to
money?
McDonald's instead, and then you gave up because the line was too big.
I wish I'd gone to Shake Shack, to be honest.
There you
Why
go.
why do you not like spending money on decent food?
I don't know.
Is it the money that you're worried about, or is it kind of you're so used to what McDonald's tastes like, so you just go there anyway?
No, I have been trying new fast food places, but I'm very picky with my food.
So that goes back to my question.
He knows what's
You literally just go to McDonald's because you know exactly. You can walk in there, you know what you're getting, how much it's going to be,
And I know what to avoid.
Yeah. Whereas for I'd say me and Rita will go fucking try anything. I don't care what
I
it
would
is.
try. I can also be picky with my food, but yeah, I would be more open to trying someplace new.
For example, Wagamama is one of my favorite places.
Yeah, I tried it this year.
I know it's a chain.
Yeah.
But I've never had a bad meal there ever, and it's a bit more expensive than I usually like paying.
Yeah.
I know that for some people listening might think, that's quite cheap, but I'm used to Weatherspoons and Harvester and places like that where it's pub grub. It's not that expensive. You can get a meal for 10, 12 quid. Whereas you go there, you're looking at what ramen noodle dish is 12 quid.
Yeah, those cheapest ones 10, 15.
And then you add your drink and you add everything on top, you're looking at £20. But that's when I started realising that spending extra on food is actually fucking worth it.
Yeah.
It really
I
is. So for fast food, do you think that's the main reason why they're popular?
I think so. I think it's cheap, easy.
Also, it's not horrible.
That's objective.
Yeah, but
They
there's worse places with worse food.
Subway.
At least McDonald's, especially if you're in the city that you don't know that well, it's very familiar. I know what I'm getting if I go there. Usually.
What's your thing against Subway?
I hate Subway.
It's disgusting.
Why?
Because I hate it. It looks gross. You go, they have the meats all open and everything, and you look at it and everything's grey. It's gross, and I hate it.
It's a fly trap.
Probably, yeah.
But although people say it isn't, it is actually more healthier than McDonald's. You get...
Not all of them.
Not all of them, this is what I say.
Same with McDonald's. If you can, they have salads. We have salads in Portugal.
I think it's different clientele. If you're going into McDonald's,
yeah.
you're buying a burger and chips. Let's be real.
Not really. I've been to people that don't buy that.
Yeah, but they're the outliers.
I also
Whereas if you go to
sit with
Subway,
them.
you're more likely to pick good, all their bread there tends to be a little bit healthy.
Depends
and
on
then you
McDonald's.
can put in your lettuce. You can put veg in there. You can put loads of different good healthy things. But Subway's never popular whenever I go in there.
Because it looks fucking gross to me.
That's the problem. I think
Also, in Portugal, we have more healthy options. We sell soup. We actually have soup at McDonald's,
saying that,
which is popular like people that have kids that are like 5, 6, and also babies, because you just feed them soup.
why the fuck do
And
we
it's
not
healthy.
have like a popular, ready to go pasta place?
Wait, what?
Why is there no like McDonald's of like pasta?
That actually exists.
I have never seen it.
I remember. I think I saw a video on YouTube somewhere, like I think it was Russia. They had like spaghetti in McDonald's.
Not even at McDonald's. I want like a fast food chain
Because
that's everywhere.
pasta, if you're not in an Italian restaurant, and even then, it's really easy to overcook and it's just mush.
I would probably campaign that jacket potatoes would be quite nice to get on the go.
Yeah, you're right. That'd be sick. Imagine getting like, do you know like the chicken nugget box, but inside you've got like a piping hot. Think of it this way: you can go into Tesco's, Asda, or if you're in America, like Walmart or whatever, and go to the frozen section and pick yourself up a jacket potato, which you can chuck in the microwave for a couple of minutes.
I'm pretty sure it exists.
Yeah, no, it does. McCann to it. Not Madeline.
It's McCain,
She's-
isn't it? Not McCann.
It's
I think you mean Maddie.
Maddie. You know.
Maddie McCain.
Yeah,
No,
it's,
that's not.
we got Maddie. She's
Guys, we'll get sued. That's not.
At the moment, she's currently not cleaning out the ice cream machine, sat behind on minimum wage, cooking in Portugal. Isn't that right, Rita?
Uh-huh.
Do you know where she is?
Of course. Who
Oh, yeah.
doesn't?
And what Portuguese person doesn't know where Maddie
She's
is?
at the
Come
bottom
on.
of the ocean.
Oh, yikes.
Moving on, as you're saying.
We're gonna get sued, aren't we?
And that's next week's episode, so stay tuned. Why do you think that there isn't more popular, like, ready to go fast food cheap places?
Okay, right.
There is in America, there's like a fast food place for everything.
Yeah, like
It's kind
Taco
of
Bell,
gross.
and then you've got like
Yeah.
you've got loads of. Why is it not popular here?
It hasn't caught on.
Honestly,
Yes.
Why?
I'm thinking people prefer
The UK
to
has
go.
more taste. Better
People
taste.
prefer to go for the unhealthy option rather than eat healthy.
Okay, pasta is not healthy.
Well,
Especially if you put tons shit on it.
pasta's healthier than like a burger full of cheese and bacon and
Not
oozing
really. If you
sauce.
get carbonara, it's not that. It's like bacon, and it's an egg sauce with a bunch of cheese in it.
So, why do you think in the UK? I know in America it's a bit different, but everything over there has probably got like cancer in it. So why do you think in the UK it's so popular to eat shit all the time?
What do you mean?
Like he says,
Okay,
every fast food place just sells junk.
Because that's what people
Okay.
want.
Why?
in
Why
Cardiff
do
City
people...
Centre alone, this is just in the centre of the shops. There are 6 Greggs, just in the city centre.
We're not bashing Greggs. I love a good
Yeah.
old Greggs.
We're not bashing Greggs here. Greggs is mint.
It's £2.50 for a chicken bacon and a latte. You can't go wrong. But so why do you think it's so popular? Why do you think junk food is so popular?
'Cause it's everywhere,
Because it's cheap and easy,
and it's everywhere.
and it's everywhere.
But healthy food can also be inexpensive. It can also taste better, and it can also make you feel better.
Not really. When people think healthy food, they don't think, "Oh God, that's so tasty." That tastes amazing. When you think tasty food that you love, you think like the burger or pizza or a plate of pasta or some like
Pasta's
ribs with tons of sauce in it.
Pasta's not unhealthy though. It's
It's not healthy either. It depends on what you put in it. A burger doesn't have to be unhealthy.
I'm just annoyed. I just want a fast food pasta place.
Let's start one.
We should start one up.
Move to Italy.
Yeah, you go over there, and if it ain't perfection, you're just gonna get laughed at.
You get killed.
So I'd rather make it here. That's a if you're listening to this, please make a fast food like pasta place that it's basically McDonald's,
You
but
get pasta from Pizza Hut.
yeah, and you can get one from Pizza Express and Prezzo's and
There
loads
you
of
go.
places.
Fast food, that's pasta.
No, but it's different there. because it feels like an actual restaurant. I want somewhere like McDonald's where I can go in there, tap on the machine and take it away in a couple of minutes. If you go there and order it, you're going to be there for 10-15 minutes. And I can't be bothered.
Yeah, and they'll just overcook the pasta and you'll be eating mush by the time you get home.
But yeah, so...
Also, another difference that I think a lot of British people will like, McDonald's sells beer in Portugal. Which that does
The
not
last
happen
place
here.
you want to be getting people drunk in the UK is McDonald's. There's enough
They
fucking...
sell beer.
Tim, is there enough fights at McDonald's?
Oh god, yeah, plenty.
Add alcohol, what happens?
There you go.
Punch ups times 2, times 3, times 4, times 5.
Didn't you tell me about the music, what they do there?
Yes, so in certain restaurants after 6 o'clock, they put on classical music at McDonald's
Why?
to fix its calming. We heard that we went to go and see the film, didn't we? We went into McDonald's afterwards and they're playing classical music.
That's right.
But why do
It
they...
makes sense, no way.
And how calming was it? How calm was it in there?
It was very calm.
If you had I don't know, Nickelback blaring out or something.
Well, everyone
Yeah,
would
but
be
everyone would
enraged
wanna fight-
because nobody likes Nickelback.
Tim, we're not recording this podcast in like 2008. Nickelback ain't here, and fucking...
Also, do you guys have mustard in McDonald's?
No.
You don't sell it. We
You
sell
only
it
get
there.
mustard in the burgers, but not separately.
Do we sell it? We also sell olive oil.
Occasionally, they would do the honey mustard with the chicken dipper things. Or
Yeah.
What happened with that Rick and Morty sauce? Do you know that?
Szechuan.
Szechuan sauce.
Szechuan.
That's from Mulan, actually.
So explain to me what the hype was. What was that about?
I think
So,
it's just a
like-
meme, wasn't it?
When Mulan came out in the 90s, I think they did like a special whatever, and they had Szechuan sauce.
Right.
Don't quote me on that, by the way. And then, I haven't seen Rick and Morty, but I think they mentioned it in one of the episodes.
Yeah.
And McDonald's like, we're bringing back Szechuan sauce for a limited time, because Rick and Morty. And everyone went crazy,
Yeah.
because they wanted it.
Um.
This happened in America, because, of course, it's America. America!
Fuck
Fuck
yeah.
yeah.
Have to save the motherfucking day, yeah. So yeah, what have we got next?
Next, I want to speak briefly about the customers. Most of the customers in McDonald's are dumb.
Okay.
Okay, Tim, that's a very bold statement.
Also bad in Portugal,
Okay,
we're very
so-
smart people.
I'm going to tell you a couple of stories from what I experienced.
Go on.
A lady and her kids come to my till.
Yeah.
They order 2 small fries, 2 medium strawberry milkshakes.
Okay.
The mum says, are they both halal?
I can. She's definitely read on Facebook that there's like meat in like milkshakes, and then she wants to know. She's read a meme. It's like, oh, by the way,
I think it's because like in America they put flavorings in the like chips.
is it Haribo or something that has like
Haribo has beef flavour in one.
yeah, and I that's not halal. So if you're a part of that faith, you shouldn't read. It doesn't say it on the packet that it really comes with it, so you have to know. So it might be a case of
It could have been a genuine question, but asking if it was.
I guess you're just afraid that like you fried your chicken nuggets in the same way that you fried your chips.
So that's my question. Is McDonald's halal?
But this is the thing, the only thing that is properly halal is the fish fillet, which is why it's very popular with a certain type of people. But
You say certain type, you mean
Well, it's
certain religious people.
yeah,
That's
religious
fine.
people. But what they do is they cook it in the same oil they do the chicken nuggets. So technically, it's not.
You're right. Yeah, that's not.
See, that's not their fault though for asking them.
No, but I say,
They're not being dumb. They're they're trying to make sure that it's halal, and you guys sure, and you're lying to
They
them.
want to follow their religion. I have full respect on that.
Yeah.
But so you're saying that like the McDonald's you were at, it's not. I know around the world it's different.
Yeah.
I know if you go to.
I'm pretty sure if you go to Portugal and after it's a halal,
They'll
nobody
just-
will know
they'll
what,
just
what
stare you
that
down.
means.
But I know don't quote me on this, but I think in places like Saudi Arabia and places like that with like Muslim religions will be halal.
Yeah,
Yes.
that must be like standard.
So do you feel like people of that religion just presume that it's all going to be halal because everything's the same? Well, most. If you go to
Also,
McDonald's,
because they asked Tim and Tim says yes.
I mean, he's not lying. The meat itself is halal.
Yeah.
So do you get
But not how you cook it.
Tim? Okay, we're gonna give you a pass on this one. You get away with on a fucking technicality.
Move on. Next one.
Go on. Next one.
Next one is this is another story. So a lady came up to me and wanted a wrap with no chicken, just a salad wrap.
Okay.
So did we do that for her? I said, "Are you sure you don't want no chicken?" She comes up to me, throws the wrap at me, and said, "Where's my chicken?"
You can swear.
Okay, she got to me and said, "Where's my fucking chicken?" I went, "You asked for salad wrap," and she went, "Yes, but I still want the chicken."
I think that like that person just wants like cause a scene.
Yeah. And then it's very, very similar. I said you just get your people who come in there and get like one drink and give you a £50 note, and then you had to empty your whole till to give them change.
But
well, no. What's your thoughts on that? You know, if you go
That's
if you go in there and you get like a 99p drink or something, and you give the guy a £50 note.
That'd be annoying.
It's annoying. Don't get me wrong. For the cashier, if he had that £50 note and he's getting it, if he needed change or he needed to change it up, okay, put it this way. Today, when we was in Tesco's, one of the ladies, the cashiers, were asked, "Oh, do you do cashback?"
Yeah.
No, you're gonna have to go find a cash machine. And nowadays, cash machines are getting rarer and rarer, and more places don't want to do cashback because everything's fucking card.
Yeah.
So if you had a £50 note, some shops actually don't accept it.
That has happened to me
So
in the airport.
Yeah, they literally would show you a £50 note, and then you have to get a manager to look at it. You have to get it signed. You have to get it checked over. Like at my store, we take quite a lot of money in, so a lot of £50 notes have to get checked. Yeah. So he might have just given it to you as like a.
I need to get rid of this.
I need to get rid of this fast. Here you go. And I know it's annoying, but it's also annoying not to be able to get cash back anywhere.
Yeah, that happened to me in the airport. So I arrived at the airport in Portugal, and my parents couldn't pick me up, so I had to go to the train station.
Yeah.
And I either got the bus or a taxi. So I went to the ATM to get money, and they give me like a €50 note to go to a bus or a taxi.
And if you
I ended up getting a taxi, but I at the end of the ride I gave the €50 note to the guy, and he looked at me like, sorry. And then I just sold roundups to him, so it's easier. He was very happy. He was a very helpful guy because he took my bag away also.
But then you gotta remember, like, if you gave that bus driver a £50 note,
he was looking at me like I was crazy.
I've seen it plenty of times.
He would say, "I have no change for that. You need
if your bus fare is like £3 or £4 or €3 or €4,
yeah,
and you give them like £20 or €20 or like €50 or £50, they're just gonna say, "Jog on, mate."
Yeah,
or,
I can't accept it.
The one I saw was I was getting on a bus, and this elderly lady scanned her card, and another person came along and was trying to pay for a £2.20 ticket.
Yeah.
So it's not rounded up to a number.
Yeah.
With £20, and then
even £10. That happened
to
me.
And then the bus driver's like, "We've got contactless, we've got elderly and disabled passes. I don't take money. I can't do anything with it."
Even £10. That happened to me, and
so the elderly lady had to. Luckily, she had a purse with her and changed it up with the guy.
Yeah.
I remember that. I think I was there with you.
Yeah, you remember.
Yeah.
So. I know this is not just fast food. This is every retail shop.
Yeah.
This happens all the time.
No, yeah, like me and another girl, we had £10 notes, and we had to wait till everyone got on and paid so the guy could give us change. And he was very he wasn't like an asshole about it. He was very sweet about it. Like, just go in and wait till I have change for you guys.
It wasn't actually a couple of months, about a year ago, like 8-9 months ago actually, they introduced contactless payments on my local buses. So literally after that, they had no change. Before, that everyone was paying cash, that they had shit ton of change. So now, what are your guys' thoughts on going like going contactless with everything.
I like it.
I like it. It's easier.
And so does that and tying it
It's more
into
convenient.
so tying it into like fast food, that's why every fast food restaurant is contactless, and like that's why McDonald's actually was one of the very first people to bring contactless in.
It's faster for everyone because you just tap your card or your phone in, and you don't have to like count change or whatever. It's more convenient. It's easy for everyone.
Okay, right. So I'm gonna finish this on a dark night by telling you guys a little story.
The night somebody was killed.
More than one.
What?
About what happened in 1984.
Okay,
This is
joking.
called the San Ysidro McDonald's Massacre.
What the fuck? Okay.
This was an act.
Hold on.
Also, I'm sorry for that.
So with this podcast, the way that it works, if you haven't realised, is one person takes the helm each week, and the other two have no fucking clue what's going to happen. We didn't know that this was going to be the case, but I'm interested. So please tell it as like if you're reading a book.
Okay, so the San Ysidro McDonald's Massacre was an act of mass murder which occurred at McDonald's restaurant in California on July the 18th, 1984. The perpetrator, 41-year-old James Huberty, fatally shot 21 people and wounded 19 others before being killed by a police sniper approximately 77 minutes later. This is still the fourth worst mass shooting in the United States to date.
Only the fourth.
Only the fourth.
That just shows how fucked America is.
So at approximately 3:06 p.m. on July the 18th.
Hey, vote Trump. Remember, vote Trump.
Please don't.
He drove his car into the parking lot. In his possession, he had a 9mm Brown HP semi-automatic pistol.
America!
Fuck you.
And a cloth bag filled with hundreds of ammunition for each weapon. A total of 45 customers were in the restaurant at present. Entering the restaurant minutes later, he held his first shotgun at a 16-year-old employee and did so, and assistant manager as well. So the manager shouted, "Hey John, that guy's going to shoot you." So when he pulled the trigger, nothing happened at first. He inspected the gun, and then the manager walked towards the service counter of the restaurant in the direction of Arnold, believing the incident to be like a joke. As he walked away, the shotgun got fired towards the ceiling before aiming at the employee, shooting beneath the left eye. She fell back and died instantly.
Jesus Christ.
Huberty then fired his shotgun at someone else, wounding the teenager working at the counter in the chest and arm before shouting a comment to the effect of "Die, swine."
What?
Remember when we said we're going to talk about fast food?
So
This was not where I thought it was going.
So at the current moment, we've got the manager. Was it the manager who's now shot dead?
And the employee's been shot
and
dead.
the employee's shot
16
presumed dead.
Yes.
So one's 16. Do you know what the age of the other person was?
No, I don't actually.
Doesn't matter.
Okay, let's take presumptions. If it's a manager, it's probably going to be like 30-year-old.
Yeah. So staff and customers tried to hide beneath tables and service booths. Huberty then killed 19-year-old with a single shotgun to the chest. Then he wounded a 15-year-old. Before
when you say wounded, was that with the gun?
With the gun.
Yep.
And then fired a 11-year-old, shot dead. And then a pregnant woman got shot dead as well.
Fucking hell.
Jesus Christ.
And then beside this mother who was shot dead was her 8-month-old little boy who sat up and wailed, and Huberty shouted at the child and then killed the baby with a single pistol shot to the centre of the back.
I want to make
Why, Tim? Why? Did you bring this up?
I'm so sick. I really want to make a Trump joke, but I don't. Oh, God.
Right,
but
shall I continue?
Yeah. Well, if you imagine, if you imagine, they shouldn't ban guns. They should give everyone else guns. Yeah. So at that time, they could have been shot dead, right?
Yeah. So Huberty then shot.
Wait, what?
It's the Trump mentality.
They should give everyone guns. Because that's safer.
Don't get rid of guns. Just give more people guns. It's
Everybody's
safer.
trying
Come on, guys.
Isn't there more guns in the USA than the rest of the world combined?
Well, yeah. Well, you don't know what like Osama bin Laden's lot had at the time.
Someone's mom dead.
Yeah.
And they probably brought it back to USA and gave
Oh
it
yeah,
back
they
as a
probably
present.
fucking the US probably sold the guns to them and then
Okay.
they just brought them back.
Let's move on.
So he then killed a 62-year-old trucker before targeting a family seated near the play area of the restaurant who had tried to shield their son and friend beneath the tables of their bodies. So both the parents were shot, and then he went down below and shot both the children and his friend in the back of the head with a single shot. He then went into the kitchen area of the restaurant and shot 2 employees who were on the fries in the back of their head before placing their fries in the fryer. So their head went down into the fryer.
It reminds me of Hot Fuzz. Do you remember when he gets like swung around in the supermarket and he's end up just getting face first, like you get planted straight into the freezer, and it's like, what did you say to him? Did you say cool off? It's like, no, I should have done.
Yeah.
I all I want now in the edit is I just want to put the fatality sounds.
Yeah. So I say then.
I'm so sick in the head.
A little bit, yeah.
So the first of many calls to emergency services were made shortly after 4 p.m, notifying police of a shooting of a child only at this time, who had But the police got the wrong address and went to the local post office. So obviously the police and the emergency services were late because the dispatcher mistakenly directed them to another place, 2 miles up the road.
So according to Apple Maps, they're at the right place.
Pretty much. So this error delayed the lockdown by several minutes, and the only warnings to civilians walking, riding or driving towards a restaurant were given by passers-by. So shortly after this, a young woman named Lydia Flores drove into the parking lot, stopping at the food pickup window. Flores noticed shattered windows and the sound of gunfire before looking up, and there he was, just shooting. Flores reversed her car until she crashed in a fence and hid in the back with her 2 daughters until the shooting ended.
That's a big old yikes.
Damn.
So at this point, 3 11-year-old boys then rode their bikes into the West parking lot to purchase sundaes. Hearing a member of the public yell something, and they couldn't hear what they were saying. All 3 hesitated before Huberty shot 3 boys down with his gun. And he later then recalled looking towards this is someone else now, looking towards their 2 friends with wounds to the back, and he started vomiting. So this other boy had several gunshot wounds to the head. This boy actually survived.
Hey. Did he get free? Did he get free McFlurries for the rest of his life?
You should.
Who knows? So about 4:24, the police arrived after the 15 minutes after the first call had been made. So the police put the restaurant into lockdown with several SWAT team members who took pictures around the restaurant. So the restaurant was now in lockdown, but the police round there with all their guns. As Huberty was still firing rapidly and alternating between firearms of different calibers, police initially weren't aware how many individuals were inside the restaurant. Furthermore, because of the restaurant windows having been shattered by gunfire, reflections from the shards and glass provided difficulty for police to focus in inside the restaurant.
So I can imagine at this point, if you put yourself in the police's perspective, they don't know if it's like a hostage situation or like if there's people still alive.
Yeah.
I reckon if they, in hindsight, pretty much everyone's dead. So they could have just went in there guns blazing if they wanted to.
So at 5:17 p.m, Huberty walked from the service counter towards the doorway, close to the drive-through window in the restaurant. So this is when it happened. So this is when Huberty was shot dead by the police. So the lockdown, the whole thing lasted 77 minutes. He fired 257 rounds, killing 20 people and wounding as many other, and 4 in the immediate vicinity of the restaurant. only 10 people in the restaurant were uninjured. 6 of the employees hid in the basement.
So they definitely weren't loving it.
No, so several victims had tried to stanch their bleeding with napkins. 13 died from gunshot wounds to the head, 7 from gunshots to the chest, and 1 victim, 8-month-old, as I mentioned earlier, was shot in the back. The victims range from 4 months to 74 years old. Initial reports from San Diego Police Department following the massacre indicated Huberty had shot or injured killed within a restaurant. So several victims, as I mentioned, but it turns out that Huberty had a mental illness.
Tim, I know this is fast food related.
Yeah.
But this is going more down the route of...
It's a bit.
Last week's episode.
Yeah. Okay. We're gonna segue this off anyway, so fuck it. We know that there's a mental health crisis in America. So, giving a load of people with mental health issues with a fucking system that costs you ridiculous amounts of money to get help, a load of guns, sounds like a great idea. That sounds brilliant. So this isn't necessarily fast food related. This is just like complete and utter like disconnect from what should happen. It's fucked, but we're not going down that rabbit hole.
This is where I'm decided to end the podcast on this very depressing note.
Yeah.
Remember when we said we were going to talk about fast food? This is totally where I thought I was going.
Just hit spacebar. Tim, this isn't how you... For your first attempt at making a weekly podcast...
What the fuck?
What the fuck? I mean...
When you said you're going to tell horror stories about fast food, this is not what I pictured.
When you first did...
Also, this had nothing to do with fast food.
When you
Except
first
it was
did...
McDonald's.
Exactly. When you first did the beginning where it's like horrors of like the McFlurry machines and that a lot. I was like, okay, fair enough.
There was a rat in the fryer.
I was like, yeah, okay, fair
They
enough.
just kept
That's
frying.
related. But having a murderer coming along, yikes.
He wasn't even
I
there to
did-
get fast food and get mad.
I did warn you there was a dark story coming.
But it has nothing to do with fast food.
I was hoping,
just happened
I
to
was
be a
hoping
McDonald's.
that your dark story was the whole, McFlurry machine wrong and everything going disgusting. But not fucking mass murdering. That was last week's episode, Tim. Get with the program.
Why, Tim?
Yeah.
Why did you do this to us?
There's only one way to end it, so
What do you...
What are you doing?
I mean, there's
What's
many
happening?
ways to end it. But at the moment, I'm so fucking depressed from what you've just put. I want to end it.
What's
okay.
happening?
Oh, no.
There is only one way.
No,
There
no.
is only one way to end it.
No.
No, Tim.
Okay.
There it
Mitchell's
goes.
going to cut that out.
That's going to get cut because we're going to get copyright striked.
How about
Also,
this?
that's just horrible.
Do.
No, please don't. That's just horrible.
McLovin it.
Ronald would be very disappointed at you, Tim. Ronald, our good Lord and Saviour, McDonald's. And on that note, farewell.